everyone. Thank you and welcome to the house. Whoops, we get the right overlay up here. Thank you, Bonnie, for joining me here. Welcome to Duke the House here for our college football betting preview. Let me get the overlay correct here for the show. And thank you for joining me here. We're going to preview 10 football games here in just a moment and get you ready for the action with the big noon kickoff here. Thank you for joining me. I think I got 10. I might have 11 games actually previewed. So if we take 2 or 3 minutes on each game, we'll have a nice preview here. We're getting down to some nitty gritty conference championships, regular season championships anyway, here today. So, hey, while we get started, don't forget you can get my best plays here at Nuke the House. And don't miss any of our bets from the Nuke the House team. Of course, there's a big UFC 322 card today from New York. The guys will be here with coverage not only of college football, but also coverage from the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, with that great card tonight. 2 championship bouts, including Della Maddalena versus Makhachev for the welterweight title, and the women's bout as well. Don't forget flyweight championship between Shevchenko and Weili Zhang. Zhang Weili going up in class here, up in weight a little bit, so that'll be a good one as well. And make sure you join in the guys here all day today. Hey, we live bet all the games during the NFL season, so you can get your picks watching our live betting shows here today and tomorrow. Keg's having a great season here so far. I'm hopefully going to bring you some winners on the channel, hoping to finish strong with my picks here. Hopefully the guys will have me back. I think the picks on the show here have been maybe better than the picks behind the paywall, but my best picks are right here behind the paywall today at Nuke the House. So subscribers, make sure you check out my plays here. But going off the board here a little bit, maybe I'm not saying I'm reaching for some games here, but maybe some overrated teams here a little bit today. So anyways, visit nukehouse.com and use the promo code NukeRamon to sign up. That'll get you a special code here when you subscribe under my sponsorship banner there and pick up my planners. Come join the winners at Nuke the House. You get 1 free week as well. We won't charge you unless you want to be charged. So make sure you sign up with the gang here at Nuke the House. Okay, here we've got a great card today, and some conference regular season championships are gonna take a long ways to be decided here. Let's get into it right away. Top of the board here, we're going to start with these noon kickoffs, of course. So we focus in on here on the Nuke the House college betting preview show and those big games today. How about Arizona taking on Cincinnati here? This one has some determining factors for sure in the Big 12. Cincinnati's 5-1 coming in. Arizona's 3-3. They're a bit of a spoiler role here, but still very, very formidable opportunity to take on Cincinnati here on the road. Arizona's 6-3 overall. Cincinnati's 7-2 overall. Under Coach Brennan, though, Arizona just 1-5 against the spread as a road underdog. For Arizona, just 5-11 against the spread, their last 16 conference games. Cincinnati, meanwhile, they've won 7 of their last 8 games coming in here under Satterfield, though just 5-8 against the spread as a home favorite. These two teams haven't met in 20 years. Note that home teams in the Big 12 this season are 22-12 so far against the spread. So, yeah, Arizona has some things going against them here. 8-3, 8-13 against the spread. Last 21 coming off of a win. They got a good quarterback, of course, in Pepita. When the defense is on, they can be good. They are 6-0 when they allow 31 points or less, which seems like a reasonable amount, but they do sometimes get caught a little bit in some high-scoring contests. I don't know if we're necessarily going to get that here, but will Arizona really have enough, I think, to kind of keep it close maybe against Cincinnati? This one might go, I feel like here, like I said, with the spread at 6.5, here it does make it a little bit. Let me see what I got. Yeah, 6 I got on the screen there. It does feel like it's gone down here to a little bit at 5.5 right now. And the total has gone up here to 56. Let's update that at least here real quick. then I'll make my call. Hey, I'd love to hear from you in the chat as well. I know I got a couple dozen of you in here already watching. So, hey, if you have a request or just want to hear something from me, let me know in the chat. This is interactive. I can see your uh, uh, information right there on the screen. So I feel like I love to have an interaction with you. So please, if you'd like, make sure you contact me here in the chat. All right. I've got Cincinnati here to cover. If it's 5.5, I'm in. It might be 6 where you're at. That's fine too. I'm going to take Cincinnati here in this one over Arizona. I'm going to lay 6 points with the Bearcats. All right. Hey, don't laugh. I mean, this is South Florida and Navy here. I'm trying to give you the biggest games here today, and I got to go to this one, right? Navy's 5-1 in the American, and South Florida is 4-1. We don't have to all be in on the major conferences, especially when those, I don't know, they're not necessarily all ready to decide those championships, but this one will go a long way. Now, Tulane's 4-1. They're playing today. North Texas is 4-1. East Carolina's 4-1. Memphis is 4-2. I got another AAC game to preview with you guys here momentarily, but still, you got South Florida on the road here, favored by 10. The total 62.5. Still kind of a pretty big number, but man, South Florida right now, they are unstoppable here, it seems like right now. And we just did get word just moments ago that Blake Horvath, the quarterback of Navy, he is probable in this game. You're going to want him in there, right? This is going to cause the line to move because his definitely was status was up in the air a little bit, it felt like. But you know his game, man. He's all about the option. I mean, he's just 8 of 15 on average this season with just 143 yards per game, but he's got 167 quarterback rating because he's so extremely efficient. 7 touchdowns and 5 interceptions so far this season for Horvath, and he's been, in and out of the lineup here a little bit this season. It hasn't been exactly what Horvath was expecting here for his big season here right now. But I think this is big news to come in right now here, and I do want to peek at the line to see if this is affecting the line. In fact, it is dropping rapidly here, down to 8.5 right now with the announcement that Horvath is in the lineup. It's the news we were waiting for, and man, the irony here right now is South Florida has been, crushing pretty good here, but to have Horvath in there, let's see what the total's doing here right now as well. 63. So Horvath changes a lot of things here. I've got to take Navy here now in this one. Give me the middies here. Plus, I'm going to have to call it 8.5 here. Could have had more if we would have reacted sooner, but we just did get that information here right now that Horvath is ruled in here in this big game for Navy. And again, right atop the standings there right now, it's a pretty big moment here for Navy on the cusp of maybe winning conference regular season championship. They have lost 2 in a row coming in, but I'm going to take Navy here in this one. All right, not a conference game, but a huge game here for Notre Dame here, certainly for their championship hopes. It's not an easy game going in to take on Pitt, but they are certainly big favorites here, minus 13. And the total in this one is 55. So you got to figure Notre Dame, yeah, they're coming in pretty strong here right now. Both teams are 7-2, though, but Notre Dame's won 7 in a row, all by 10 points or more coming into this one. I think Notre Dame's actually going to rock them here, and I'm going to take them to roll over Pitt today. I think they could win this one by more than 2 touchdowns here. Pitt has won and covered their last 5 games, and they're averaging they're averaging about 40 points per game in those 5 games. But to me, I think just too much defense. Totally impressed with Pittsburgh's quarterback, Henschel. Here, man, he was great in the game against BC last week. It looks like he's the real deal and could be, one of the quarterbacks of the future for sure here. But under Narduzzi, Pitt 10-3 against the spread last 13 games coming off of win. Notre Dame have won the last 4 in the series, going 3-1 ATS, but just 2-2 ATS last 4 visits here into Pittsburgh. But I've got Notre Dame to rock here. They with Carr in there, he's doing a pretty good job, it feels like, here right now. And Notre Dame's 2 losses were by a total of 4 points. I mean, they really are kind of elite compared to Pitt. I'm going to take Notre Dame to really smash here in this one. Win and cover easy over Pitt here on Saturday. Got more action here right now with South Carolina taking on Texas A&M here in this one. A&M undefeated. They, pretty big favorites here against South Carolina. Certainly, it's Texas. It's Texas A&M. That's going for the big score here, if you will, and top the standings here currently in the Big 12. The current standings show Texas Tech 6-1. I'm sorry, in the SEC. Caught me back old school there a little bit. Texas A&M, of course, 6-0 right now in the SEC, 9-0 overall. Alabama's 6-0 in conference. Georgia's 6-1. Ole Miss is 5-1. We know South Carolina, they're just 1-6 in conference, but still just a 17-point favorite. I thought that was interesting here, because you got to think, South Carolina, they've not been blown out every time, although they've definitely been on the short end of some one-sided scores here. But it did seem kind of interesting, though, here that it is only 17 points coming into this to this game, right? Because we know that A&M's been kind of rolling through and have big numbers here right now, and basically undefeated here in conference play in the SEC. So total here is 50 in this one between South Carolina and Texas A&M here, but no doubt a big number here to cover. And I don't know, to me, I think South Carolina is a team that might be able to hang actually here in this matchup. Not that, A&M is going to be overlooking anybody or anything, but I think I'll probably just go to the total here in this one, and I'm going to take the under for sure with A&M and South Carolina. It's going to be hard for South Carolina really to put up a big number on A&M here, I would think, for sure. So in College Station, give me the under here in this one. Hey, let's go out to Wrigley Field. Why not? Michigan and Northwestern. Michigan, a 10-point favorite, but this one being played at Wrigley Field here today. How about that, with Michigan on the road here, favored by 10, and the total here is 41 in this one. And we'll see if the friendly confines affect. You could catch a touchdown and crash head on into the wall if you're not careful in this game. But check it out for sure. They played games in here. They play games in here all the time nowadays, about usually once a year. So they know what they're doing anyway. Michigan knows what they're doing right now, cruising here. Right now, you look at the standings here. Now we can look at the Big 12 standings, the Big 10 standings here a little bit. Michigan currently 5-1, Indiana 7-0, Ohio State 6-0 here. Northwestern's in the middle of the pack here at 3-3 currently, but they are at home, and I don't know if it's going to be a total Notre Dame crowd here, despite the fact that it's in Wrigley Field, but nonetheless, 10 here, total 41.5 here in this one. I'm going to probably go to the total here in this one. This one might be a little bit of a grinder here. I got to take the under 41 with Michigan and Notre Dame here on the Morning Steam Show. Give me the under. Michigan might be able to pitch something close to a shutout. Could it be maybe in the 28 to 10 range here, though, today? That'd keep it under. I think that'd keep it under. That'd be a Michigan cover. Give me the under here, though, as my official play with Michigan and Northwestern. Hey, we're halfway through the show. Make sure you join us here on Nuke the House and NTH Sports Picks here, our new YouTube channel. And make sure you join us today for the coverage with the guys here shortly with college football and then that UFC card. The UFC card is actually a late card today that will get underway at 6 let's just say 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. It gets on about 10 or 15 minutes. I'll have the first fight, and then the big card tonight from New York City. Make sure you're joining the companion stream here on the NTH Sports Picks channel. More exciting action here in conference races, a wild ACC with Virginia and Duke. You got Virginia here coming in 5-1 in conference play. Duke is 4-1. Georgia Tech is 5-1. SMU's 5-1. Pitt, they're playing Notre Dame, but they're 5-1 in conference play when they return to conference play. So a pretty good game here for sure with Virginia and Duke here today. And there's been some movement in this game here leading up to kickoff here, but we're seeing Duke right now 4.5. It opened 6, went all the way down to 3, and then Duke has kind of been taking some action here a little bit today. And this one, we're now into the 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific window here. Currently, it's 4.5 and 60 in this one. And for me, I'm on here with Duke to win and cover here at -4.5. Yeah, 3 would have been more attractive. It is what it is right now, but I've got Duke to win and cover here. Now, Virginia has kind of had the best of this series here of late, but at home, I'm going to ride with Duke here a little bit. Virginia, I would say they've done well in the series. It might be an understatement. They've actually kind of dominated the series here of late between the two teams. Virginia has had the upper hand here on Duke. They've won 8 of the last 9 series games, although the teams have split the last 4 games in Raleigh-Durham. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone over here in this one. And hey, I'm going to go with the Blue Devils here over Virginia. Big one in the SEC, of course, when you've got Oklahoma taking on Alabama. Just recited those SEC standings here currently. So let's see here what you have. Alabama favored here by 6, and the total here is 46 in this one. Look, I don't know if it's going to be a defensive fest here as it says it is. 46 right now. You got Oklahoma here. They've split their last 4 games after that 5-0 start. They've been allowing some big numbers here of late. They allowed in the last 2 games 442 yards on average, and they got Mateer here playing quarterback right now, playing well. And the thing about Mateer, the last 6 Oklahoma quarterbacks are all starting quarterbacks in the NFL, if you think about it. And Mateer, he kind of looks like he could be just like them, if not even a little better as a pocket-style passer. We know not all of them were pocket passers necessarily that are in there right now. You think of guys like Kyler Murray. Fields was at Oklahoma. You got to consider that as well. And other guys in there. Blake was there as well. So for me, though, here in this one with Oklahoma and Alabama, I've got Alabama actually to roll. They've won their first 6 SEC games here by an average of about 10 points. They have a couple of 3-point wins, but they have a couple of they have a 16-point win, a 17-point win. Simpson doing a pretty good job here for Alabama. I don't know if he matches up quite with Mateer. Beautiful day out there at Wrigley Field. Doesn't that look great? But for me, it's Kalen DeBoer here, and his record actually right now 9 spread as a home favorite for DeBoer since he's come to Alabama. 5 of the last 6 games from that Alabama has been in have been under the total. Oklahoma's won 4 of the last 5 in the series. The Sooners upset Alabama 24-3 at home last season, but and I'm going to take Alabama here in this one. Give me the Crimson Tide to take care of business here against OU on Saturday. All right, we got another good one here. I thought I'd cover it here because this is still a big game in the AAC. After I just recited the standings, Memphis is 4-2. East Carolina is 4-1. So East Carolina needs to still get this win here between these two teams. East Carolina, a 3-point favorite in this one over Memphis. and take a look at some of the numbers with this, key game. Memphis 8-2 coming in here. They've split their last 4 games after a 6-0 start. Lewis has done a nice job when he's been in there. He's been banged up a little bit, but doing pretty good. Memphis has scored 32 points or more in 8 of their last 10 games. Under Silverfield, the Memphis Tigers are 12-8 against the spread as an underdog, and they're 4-2 against the spread as a road underdog here of late since 2022. Memphis has gone over in 5 of their last 7 games overall. For East Carolina here, 5-3 against the spread. Their last 8 games as a home favorite. They've won 3 straight, averaging 45 points per game in those 3 games. I think East Carolina is going to take this one. I'm going to take East Carolina here, actually. They've won 9 of the last 11 in this series. Memphis is just 1-5 straight up and 4-2 ATS, their last 6 trips in here. The series has gone over in 3 of the last 4 meetings. I don't know. I think Memphis may have a little bit of trouble replicating some of those offensive numbers here against East Carolina today. And I'm going to take East Carolina in this big game to get a big win here on Saturday. East SEC, big one, Texas and Georgia. Here, of course, Georgia favored by 4.5. Here in this one, Texas 4-1 in conference. Georgia's 6-1 in conference. Texas has won 4 in a row, 7 of their last 8 coming in. Texas 1-4 against the spread, though. However, as a road underdog in their last 5 tries, Georgia, meanwhile, has won their last 5 games by 20, by 4, by 8, by 10, and by 21. Of course, their only loss was to Alabama here. I think Texas is going to have problems here today against the Dogs. The spread's gone down here to 4.5. The total's gone up to 49.5 right now, and I'm going to take Georgia here. They beat Texas twice last year, 22-19 and 30-15. But the key stat there was Texas in those 2 games rushed 55 times for 60 yards, basically a 1.05 average rushing the ball. That's not going to get it done, and that's going to lead. The same thing is kind of going to happen here today. I believe Texas will end up a bit air happy, and it may end up costing them in the end. They can't run against Georgia, so that'll be the difference here. And I've got Georgia to win and cover against Texas here on Saturday. Couple more here, and then the show will be over. I got a big one for you right here. This is a big one. And the total is 560, apparently. Let me fix that graphic. But both teams, 5-0. This is a game of the year in Conference USA. Both teams come in with 5-0 records right now. Kennesaw has won 7 in a row, and Jacksonville State comes in here having won 5 in a row. Don't sleep on this matchup. Kennesaw State was 25-1 to win the conference title at the beginning of the season, and Jacksonville State was 25-1 to win the conference title at the beginning of the season. Kennesaw was 50-1 to win the conference title, and here they are basically playing for the conference regular season title right now. So cash it, if you will, between these two as we may decide the regular season championship here today between Kennesaw here and Jacksonville State. So this one should be a little bit under the radar. Why not play this game on a way? I know you can't flex, or they didn't know it was going to be that way. So I would say, though, why not? This would have been a better game to have on a Tuesday or Wednesday to kind of to decide the league title is what I think here in this one. So, hey, I got the over in this one. I think it's going to be a great game today, and I'm going to take over 56 with Kennesaw and Jacksonville State in this big game. One more, TCU and BYU in the Big 12. We've said those standings, but just to reiterate, BYU 5-1 here. TCU looking to play spoiler at 3-3, but they are 6-3 overall coming into this one. It's BYU by 3, and the total 51 here between these two. You do have BYU coming in here right now at 8-1 overall with Bachmeyer at quarterback. Of course, BYU lost at Texas Tech for their first loss of the season last week. Maybe that's why the spread's a little bit lower here of only 3. But I got to take BYU in this one. Why not? I mean, laying just 3 points to this TCU team. Yeah, TCU, when they can score, they usually win. If they score 35 or more, they win. But hey, I usually win when I score 35 or more. And can they get that number here at BYU here today? TCU, when they take away the ball, when they force those turnovers, they are in it. But 5 of the last 7 games have stayed under for TCU here. For BYU, they've allowed 25 points per game in conference play. But I think, TCU's won the last 5 meetings in this series, but it's the first trip into Provo in 16 years. And as I said, Big 12 home favorites are 22-12 against the spread so far here this season. I'm going to take BYU to win and cover here in this one. All right, we got you right up to the noon kickoff. Want to thank everybody for joining me here on the Nuke the House channel. Don't forget, join the guys here today, and also make sure you get signed up here at Nuke the House, and you can use the promo code Nuke Ramon. Let them know you're watching me here on the Nuke the House channel, and get a discount there. Hey, I don't get anything out. It was just another promo code for you guys to use. Want to thank, we had 4 dozen of you in here watching the previews with me here today, and really appreciate you joining me here on the Nuke the House channel. Have a great day, and I'll be with you here for we got running down to the end of the season here right now. Join Holden and I tomorrow though for NFL preview at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific, as we take you right up until the kickoff in the NFL. So thanks a lot, and really appreciate it. And join us here all day on the NTH Sports Picks channel. For Nuke the House, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining me.